Hello, this is Mrs. Bobby. It's lesson 24 of module 1. We're almost module 1. An upcoming test to end the module soon. And today we are going to be looking at your S123 in your book and exercise 4 at percentage, decimal, fraction, the ratio behind it, and the model drawing of what it would look like. So first things first, we're going to look at the percentage. Now, we're going to take this percent and we're going to make it into a fraction because I think that's probably one of the easiest transformations to make. So if we go from percent to fraction, we know that the 6, the percent piece, is going to be the numerator of our fraction. And the best percent you could get, think about a test, the best percent you could get is a 100. And that's going to become the denominator fraction. Now, if the fraction can be simplified and you are asked to reduce it to lowest terms, then you're going to want to reduce this. Now, we see that a 6 on a 100 can be divided by 2. So 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 2 goes into 100 50 times to reduce that fraction. Now, the ratio is already given to us here, 6:100. So that's a really pretty basic part. But to make a decimal, we can take what we call 2 back jumps. So if we take 2 back jumps from the percent, it's like we know our decimal point is right here in what we have right now. So we're going to take 2 jumps. We jump 1 around the 6, and we jump 1 more, and then we're going to put our new decimal point there. And in this empty space, we're going to put a 0. So our decimal for 6% is 6 hundredths, written like this. Now, some kids can look at the fraction and say, oh, 6 hundredths, tenths, hundredths. So that works out nice. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, why are we jumping 2 jumps? Well, because we're talking about hundreds. And how many zeros does the 100 have? The 100 has 2 zeros. So that's why we're taking 2 jumps back into the number, which means we're jumping towards the left. 2 jumps towards the left, which means we're going away from the percent sign. Now, the model drawing is quite interesting because you're just drawing this really big box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I got to make one more. There's 10. Then I got to go 10 across. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And merrily, we are coloring in 6 of those boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to represent the model drawing of that. And you can get a better coloring job on your own. But when you're taking notes on this page, if you only want to do one model drawing, that is totally fine. So now let's look at the 60%. So we're given the percent. Right away, I'm going to jump right to the ratio and go 60:100. And then we're going to go to the fraction, and all percents go over 100. And then we're going to take a look at where the decimal, remember, every whole number has a decimal after the last digit. And we're going to jump 2 jumps, 1, 2. So now we're going to have decimal point 60, and that is our decimal version of 60%. Now, you would draw the same kind of model drawing, but instead of just coloring 6 boxes, you would be coloring in 60 boxes. So now, last one on this page that we're going to be taking a look at is what happens when the percent is over the normal 100 top percent we can have. That's okay. Sometimes in life you're going to have a higher percent. It's like a markup, like your Nike shoes, jewelry, things like that are all big markups. So the first thing we're going to do is the ratio. We still have 600 colon 100. And when we do our fraction, we have 600 over 100. Remember, best percent we can truly have is 100. Now, when we're looking at our decimal, remember what was said before is our decimal point goes after the very last digit of our whole number. So we would have 600 decimal, and we have to take 2 jumps back. Remembering 2 jumps back because a 100 has 2 zeros in it. And as you can see, this decimal point falls in between. So we have 6.00. And if we were going to make this model drawing of this, notice how we have a box at 100? Well, we need 600. So you're basically going to have 6 full drawings that are colored in representing hundreds. Obviously, that's why we are not doing it in such a small space, because think about making that in this little spot and 6 of them. So that is a wrap on today's lesson, lesson 24. And as always, this is Mrs. Bobby, and I love math.